Well, a very good afternoon, and the warmest of welcomes I extend to all. Welcome along here on behalf of the good team at EVES to our auction room, and of course to our owners, welcome into you, and may extend the hand of gratitude for entrusting the exceptional team here at EVES with the marketing of your very fine property. It's certainly been our great privilege. And of course, introducing our auction team, joining us today we have our National Auction Manager, Mr. Grant Charles. Welcome into you. Our branch manager, Miss Tanya Swain. Welcome into you, Tanya. And of course, the absolutely fabulous Nikki Tracy, our sales manager here. Assisting on the technology, we have the wonderful Alison Wienick. Now, Alison will be displaying feats of both numerical and technological dexterity, as Alison is in charge of the all-important bidding sequences, which will be displayed on screen beside me here. The astute among you will know by now that Louis MacDonald is my name, and it's an absolute pleasure to be conducting proceedings, but more simply here in the capacity to guide you along your journey to ownership. Now, bidders and buyers, throughout the campaigns, you will have familiarised yourselves with our lead agents for the properties in question. They will have furnished you with documentation which will aid in your purchasing decision here this afternoon. Among that documentation, they will have provided you with a copy of the Real Estate Authority's approved guide to sale and purchase agreements. They will also have supplied you with a copy of the auction terms and particulars from which we work. And to those terms and particulars I take you now, good folks, as we run through the conduct of auction. It will come as no surprise that our owners offer up the property subject to that confidential written reserve price. Subject to that reserve price being reached, I'm permitted to sell the property to the highest bidder among you. Now, bidders and buyers, as the auctioneer, I reserve the exclusive right to place bids on behalf of our owners. That is what we refer to as the vendor bid. Any vendor bids that I do place will be clearly identified to you as such. Ironically, I should use the term vendor bid. Any vendor bids that I do place will only be placed at a level well below the reserve price, for the property is clearly not for sale. Now, bidders and buyers, I'm not aware of anyone bidding by proxy today, so your competition is here in the room. Now, bidders and buyers, as the auctioneer, may execute my right to refuse a bid if I do not deem it to be in the best interests of our owners. If a dispute during the bidding happens to arise, I shall simply arbitrate that dispute. I shall be a numerical conductor throughout the sweet symphony of the bidding. Follow my lead along to the grand finale of the call, which will be signified by the percussive beat of my gavel coming down the rostrum like so. If you so happen to find yourself in that very, very fortunate position of holding the highest bid, well, congratulations, you are deemed to be our purchaser. Your obligations are therefore twofold. Sign your name on the memorandum of contract and pay a deposit of a neat, easy 10% off the purchase price. Bidders, buyers, good folks, those are your obligations as we look toward our offering. Being lot number one, brought to the market by our very own Jayden King, certainly an expert in Whangarei West and countryside property. Jayden brings to the market number 1256 Pipiwai Road of Whangarei West of the Whangarei district, more formally described as an estate in freehold enveloping 5,307 square metres, more or less, as we say, being lot 1, deposit plan 309908, fully contained and described on that record title 39098. Vacant possession is on offer and awaits you on that settlement date described as the 28th of October 2022. I do point out to you the further terms in the documents, being clause 23 regarding the disclosure of non-compliance for the shed, and clause 24 regarding the refrigerator being sold in an as-is, where-is basis. The offering positioned on comfortably on over an acre of flat manicured land framed by the picturesque tree lines that provide shelter but maximise the sun. The offering truly affords that peaceful and private setting. The home itself featuring 4 spacious bedrooms, including the master of the ensuite, giving the master of the residence that sense of individuality and privacy away from the cacophony of household life, complemented by the generously proportioned open plan living area featuring polished concrete floors that tie in with the modern kitchen. Bifold doors give that all desired, that semblance, that symbiosis of indoor-outdoor flow, ensuring you'll spend plenty of time outdoors entertaining on the sun-soaked patio while enjoying the tranquil and rural aspect. Children are certainly well catered for, with the sprawling lawns and tremendous play park. Popular family-friendly location, of course, centred around the community hall and the tennis courts, zoned for the highly popular Matarose School and Cammer Township within a convenient commute with a host of shops and amenities. The offering is an opportunity to live the good life with good style. And I put that offer and that opportunity up to you now, good bidders and buyers, as I seek now for that opening bid, a fair place to start. What's the figure to be? A little bit more than that would be good. Start away with something fair and reasonable. We're aware of equally zealous but less able in buying position parties that are interested. So if you're here on that cash and unconditional basis, speak now. On that first call, the opportunity to register your interest by way of your bidding. On that second call and penultimate chance, the opportunity is before you, or dare you enter that deep dark abyss of the conditional market. Third and final time. Well, Jayden, it seems that they would rather speak to you than me, and I don't blame them for but a moment. I'll pass that property back into your hands. I'm sure we'll find a sold sign up at Pippy Y Road very, very soon. Accordingly, we move on to lot number 2, being 46 Glendale Road off Wood Hill, brought to the market by our very own Kauri Oxborough. Welcome into the auction room, Kauri, to you. And of course, that is more formally described as an estate in freehold, enveloping 1,050 square metres, more or less, as we say, being lot 6 deposit plan 58678, fully contained and described on that record of title, volume NA13D folio 513. Vacant possession is on offer with that settlement date described as 15 working days after this date of this agreement, and I point out to your attention the further terms of sale being clause 23 regarding that there is no vendor warranty on the security light and you're buying it in an as is where is basis. The offering affording the convenience of the central location but the privacy and seclusion of the position, while set down a private right of way with established bush as the backdrop, set on over a quarter-acre section. The home itself elevated and positioned to capture those mesmerizing views of the Western Hills, capacious in proportions with multiple additional living spaces and options, offering plenty of space for large families and boasting of some 26 naughty corners. Updated with new paint and flooring throughout, lend the home a fresh, modern vibe, while seamless indoor-outdoor flows ensure you will be spending much time on the outdoors, making use of those manicured gardens that offer undeniable flexibility, with the paved areas and the shelter deck providing a variety of alfresco entertaining spaces. The practicality, of course, of the internal access garaging completes the appeal. Walking distance to the city centre, commutes from work will be short-lived, allowing more time to spend in this wonderful, stunning home. And I put myself into your hands now as I seek for that fair place to start. What's that figure to be? Where would you like to see value, folks? Where would you like to hear it? Lot number 2 is a public auction, not a silent auction, folks. Start me away. Around the room 3 times while you consider your options. Moment to reflect on the immense value on offer. On that first call now, seeking a start. It's not where we start, it's where we end. Second chance now. All quiet on the western front. On that third and final chance, speak now. Well, that surprises me. Or does it? Maybe they'd rather speak to you, Kauri, than me, because you're much more handsome than myself. Pass that back into your hands, as property is now priced for immediate interest at $730,000. Price now there at $730,000. Interest, get in line behind Kauri. I'm sure he will help you assist your journey to ownership of 46 Glendale Road. Well, bidders and buyers, that concludes our auctions here at EVES for this week. Thank you very much for your attendance. The good team at EVES are more than happy to assist you on your journey to ownership. Only just ask.